Kahlil Gibran, born on 6th January 1883 in Beshari in Lebanon, died on 10th April 1931 in New York, in USA. Kahlil Gibran said, "And God said, love your enemy. And I obeyed him and loved myself." Kahlil Gibran, usually referred to in English as Kahlil Gibran or Gibran, was a Lebanese American writer, poet, and visual artist, also considered a philosopher, although he himself rejected the title. He is best known as the author of The Prophet, the best-selling books of all time, translated into more than 100 languages. Kahlil Gibran said, "And God said, love your enemy. And I obeyed him and loved myself." Kahlil Gibran said, "And God said." First of all, God is not there, so he cannot see. And if at all there was a God, according to Gibran, that God must be a worst God. God will never say, love your enemy, because love is love. He has not created enemies. It is in your thinking that there is an enemy because you are lazy, because you are not working very hard. Kahlil Gibran said, "And I obeyed him and loved myself." Yes, that loving is very good, but loving comes with the sharing of the love. If you love yourself, you sometimes get disconnected with your lover, with your partner, with the participants, with the nature. Sharing is very important. And God said, love your enemy. First of all, there is no enemy, understand? That is very, very important. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Neighbor, everything is in one block. Love your enemy. Your enemy is your, can you believe? Do you believe that the manure of the tree is the enemy of the tree? The branches which is coming out of the tree trunk are the enemies of the tree. The fruits which is coming and falling down is the enemy of the tree. The leaves which shed the leaves are enemies of the tree. The wind, when it blows and the tree gets a chance to swing and dance, the enemy of the tree. The rain, when it comes, enemy of the tree. Whatever water he could collect it and try to pushes his roots as deep as possible and try to hold the water for when the rains are not coming. That talent, is it an enemy? The hottest sun, the wind. And God said, love your enemy. If you can understand that much, I think there is no enemy. Enemy, if you think, is the moment you think somebody is looking at you in a bad way, that means you lost your power to take their energy into you. They be the hunted. They cannot hunt you. You cannot be the hunted. Yes, you have to hunt them back. They become the prey, not you. Now you are allowing enemy to prey on you. Hence you get frightened and use the term enemy. Love your enemy. Yes, to love what Kahlil Gibran is. Love your enemy means prey on him. The enemy is convert the enemy into your manure for you to become more strong. That was the connecting link. Kahlil Gibran, love your enemy. Yes, who? God said is love your enemy. And he loved himself. Yes, sometimes people love themselves. They go to the gym, they may create more bodies, and there is hardly any money they could give home. They're always after the karate masters to go do a lot of karate exercise, come back home and ask for a huge amount of food, and hardly the wife could not able to give them that kind of food because the man is not earning extra except demonstrating and showing his body. Love yourself also is wrong. When you have the love, when you know to love, then you know the roots have to go deeper, the tree branches come, stands taller Everybody. And you have to bear enough fruits for everybody. Enough fruits. The tree should bear enough fruits. Not only for you and for your family and for others to have it. That is the strength of the roar of 1,000 men warrior. And obeyed him. He said, and I obeyed the God. I obeyed the nature who said, love your enemy. Love your enemy in the sense, he indirectly puts it, the enemy is the person which is yin and the yang, positive and negative, only can create electricity. The love relationship which you think, if you think the enemy is somebody different, then you have not understood. You will only keep on buying a huge amount of weapons, which that money should have gone to the poor. That money should have gone for creating rainwater harvesting throughout the country. That weapons money should have used for solar and wind energy. Yes, the development of trying to make people understand about their family values, making people understand about the love values, converting the film media, converting the film script and the film media and the television to talk about our Samskriti. When our ex-president Abdul Kalam went to Israel, the day he arrived in Israel, it seems there was a killing between Palestine. And Palestinians attacked an Israeli soldier and he was killed. And our ex-president Abdul Kalam was thinking, next day, all the newspapers cover page, that will be the biggest topic. Next day morning when he got up, he opened the pages, he opened all the newspapers. In all the newspaper cover pages, they're talking about how the farmer has created more product, how he is able to move with the water, every drop of water converting into drip irrigation, and to find out this water whether it is to be used on the head or only on the roots, and within what time. And none of the newspapers mention anything about the fight. All the newspapers, then he kept on opening pages after pages. In one corner, in a small corner, it was written. Yes, in a small corner, is written about a fight. The newspapers, convert the newspapers and the televisions and the film media to talk about, not about the kings. What nonsense are these people are doing? Is that the love for the land? Kahlil Gibran, love your enemy, God said, and love myself. Yes, to love yourself. What nonsense are these film script people, directors, producers doing? What nonsense? Talking Bahubali, talking about some kings. Almost everything I am seeing of kings and kings. Not a single movie or television program I have seen. Call it by Ramayana, Mahabharata or Radha Krishna or Bahubali. Anything there. Not a single film has spoken about the poor, about the king and his land, king and what is said, king and killing and killing and killing. Did they talk about rainwater, how much rainwater they have saved so the poor also benefited? That is a real king. How much sunlight they have been able to pull in so that they can make solar convert into lights, Kathil in the balcony from darkness to light. Tamaso ma Jyotir Gamaya. Love your enemy. If you can convert and love myself, if you love yourself, you can know. You converted the rain into enemy. When rain comes, there's a storm. They're killing people. You are not converted the rain into a beautiful, beautiful path. Well, see, it's a God coming, a red carpet welcome for the water to run into beautiful lakes. As many lakes and ponds. Yes. As many lakes and ponds and rivers. As many trenches. Groundwater recharging. Then teaching the children how to convert the rainwater into drip irrigation. It keeps on moving and moving. That is the real love. Love myself means you understand what is me and then you share it. I loved myself means not I suppress myself. Kahlil Gibran was telling. Love myself means the expansion of trying to tell the world. Yes, this is it. Love myself means myself includes the nature, the rainwater harvesting, the solar, the wind energy, the land, yes, and the materials is growing the land. Try that one. That is the greatest love story. Love myself means the husband joining hands with the wife right inside the kitchen, and then the husband is thinking the wife doesn't know anything. She is in the kitchen, and the wife thinks the husband doesn't know anything. Yes, husband doesn't know anything because he goes outside and he comes back home, he doesn't know anything about the house. The wife thinks the husband doesn't know anything because she knows everything in the house, she doesn't know anything outside. Both are thinking and both are wrong, because the wife, after whatever the husband brings, she cooks it and she sits in front of the TV to watch the serials. And the husband, when he goes outside, when he comes back, he doesn't even look inside. He just takes a newspaper, reads and order for a coffee. Both are two extremes. Morning, instead of going for a walk, just try this one. Go to the kitchen. Electricity, plumbing, sanitary, painting, cooking. Then you know from where the food has to come. When you know how to bring the money from working very hard, you have to find out the food what you're given. Have to find out whether you have to grow a kitchen garden where you can get fresh curry leaves, coriander leaves, fresh chili, whatever, right from the kitchen. How to save the water, convert it up into rainwater harvesting. The waste, what the wife is throwing into the dustbin, whether that can be converted into manure. Try that one. That is the greatest yoga. And then God said, love your enemy, means that is the enemy. If you do not love that one, you do not love the work right inside the house with your wife and your husband and convert everything into a beautiful tree, then you can say, I loved myself. Yes, you are loved. You are loved. You are not that you loved yourself. You are loved by the people around. Kahlil Gibran said, I did not get a quote yesterday for today's 194th short stories. So my people were sending messages to everybody telling, can anybody tell us what Guruji should speak today? And Mr. Rajan, he sent me this quote and said, you have not spoken about Kahlil Gibran. And this quote, I loved it. It was such a beautiful quote. I could have needed more time to speak about it. As my time is given only 10 minutes, I have to squeeze it inside the 10 minutes. Now I think I exceeded 12 minutes. Kahlil Gibran said, and God said, love your enemy. And I obeyed him and loved myself. This is my 194th short discourse.